Hi, welcome to our short form final presentation for the 2021 Capstone. We are a group that was sponsored by Bushel to create a health check UI. They are an agricultural software company located in Fargo, North Dakota, serving clients around America and Canada. They've had over 600 plus projects since 2011, which were mainly centered around apps and websites for grain facilities, revolutionizing the digital infrastructure of a traditionally non-internet focused business. So in that sense, they are industry leading. They are now powering 15% of grain volume across their apps and websites, which are grain facility specific. So that involves over 60,000 growers and 2,000 grain plants. And this has led them to become one of the biggest startups in the Fargo area, recently acquiring $47 million in funding in a Series C round of investments.
Okay, so moving on to the big issue that Bushel has been facing, and to kind of reiterate a little bit of what Nathan was saying, Bushel being the company they are, they handle the business transactions between the growers and the sellers of crops through their app. In order to achieve this, Bushel will either pull their needed data directly from their clients, or they'll have it pushed to them. But either way, the received data is then sent through a several layered pipeline, and it is here where it is modified, it's standardized, it's properly formatted, and the data is stored as a ticket to then be later shot to their app, kind of to be displayed. Now, the problem occurs within this pipeline in that there are comparison errors occasionally appearing between the states of the pipeline. In short, their actual data looks different than what their expected data. And beforehand, they really had no efficient way to monitor these errors without diving deep into the entire process. With this in mind, this is where we came in. So we were tasked to create a web dashboard to visualize the state of the end-to-end tests for Bushel systems. This interface would display a paginated list of all test runs made on the pipeline, including past, fail, and ongoing. Individual run details would also be available, including the status of the run, any important dates, and any compared differences for failed runs between the actual and expected tickets. And thirdly, the user would be able to start and access a new test run directly from the dashboard. To help accomplish all this, we also utilized Bushel's last year's Capstone project, a REST API that also generates test data to run through Bushel systems. Modifications were made by us on this API as new endpoints and features were needed for our goals, as well as we added a database to the backend to store the past results. Overall, it was our hope that our final project could be used as another tool by Bushel's tech support team, as they're in charge of monitoring tickets and bug complaints for their app.
Here's our web application. So you can see here that we have the newly created test run from myself here. If I click to go to it, we can see it was successful with no issues. The date it was created, the date it was last updated when the test run was finished and was successful. And I can go to a test run here that has failed, and you can see how it shows a JSON diff of where the test run did not match up with the expected results. And this was randomly generated to be able to fake testing one, as Bushel's endpoints currently are working properly. To demonstrate our pagination, you're able to go between pages, skip the last page or skip to the first page. You can go to page by number as well, and you can change the number that are shown. When you start a new test run, it'll ask you to give a name, which is required. So if I start another run with my name, you can see it updates here to have the run, which is in progress. And then after, on average, about 10 seconds, the run should complete, and we should get a notification at the bottom saying it's completed. So here you can see this test run has failed, so it did not match up. And if we go to the page, we can see the failure. We also have a progress bar to show while the test run is running, the progress it's making. So if I start another one, we'll start this one in Dylan's name, and we go to the page, you can see this progress bar as our data is generated, sent to the router endpoint from Bushel, and then moves its way to center which is where we're comparing between router and center to make sure it matched up.